goodness. I'm not used to this, but I'm sure we'll get there. I'm gonna try and make sure that I'm actually live. So let me call someone to tell me. I've never done this before. Oh, I think I'm live because I can see people coming on. Thank you. But I can't see to know who you are. So I don't know how to do this, but we're gonna get through this this live podcast. Aja, go online and see if I'm on and it's okay.
Okay.
Okay. So maybe we'll wait for about 5. Okay, good. All right. I think I'm online. Okay, good stuff. So we'll wait to get maybe about 5 or 6 people. So it doesn't matter how many people log on, but or join the podcast. I'm sure the news will go and people will listen afterwards. So I'm not gonna be hooked on who logged in or not. I'm sorry, I'm on a building site, so you're gonna have a lot of interruptions. People knocking the zing and all of that, but we'll get through it. Right. I said 4 o'clock, so we're gonna wait for another 3 minutes, and then we're gonna start the podcast. Great. People are coming on. So, we'll wait for another 3 minutes to get more people on, and then we'll start the conversation. It's going to be interesting. I hope you find it interesting. I'm sure you will. So, So we'll start in 3 minutes. Yeah. Thank you, Haja, for joining. Thank you to my sister in Minnesota, my sister and my husband in Minnesota. Yes, thank you for watching. Famo Kane, thank you. Mohamed Kone, Kula, my darling Kula Jusu, thank you. Thank you for joining in. Kula, I'm sorry I'm not in London with you guys. No, I'm not, but Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to everybody. I saw Fatmata Sako here. Hi, my sister. Good to see you. Thanks for joining in. I love all of you. I miss you guys so much. But right now I'm in the highlands of Guinea. But, my little sister from Ohio, Fanta. Thank you for joining in. Thank you so much. Oh, my big brother, Kurma. Good, thank you so much. Oh my goodness, it's a lot of people coming in. Thank you so much for joining in. Please share the video. We have a lot of people in the US, in Europe, in England, everywhere, even in Liberia, from that have an ancestral home here, where I'm based right now in Nisumwedu in Bela. So it's gonna be interesting. So we're about to start. Okay, I think we'll just start. We have 17 people, that's fine. We'll start now. So salam to everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone, wherever you are, and Happy New Year to you all. I bring you greetings from Nisumwedu in Bela, in Guinea. I greet you from the southeastern part of Guinea. I mean, probably some of you will be wondering, what is she doing in Guinea? What's she doing in Nisumwedu? Well, I'm here to complete a very worthy project. I'm here to complete a primary school with staff quarters attached to it and a mosque. Very, very worthy project. I'm here to complete it for the people of Nisumwedu. And this project is a gift from my mother, Haja Fanta Mamaka Bility. This is her gift to her people in Simandou. And we're very, very pleased about it. I'll tell you a little bit about my mom. Very special lady. She's not had any formal education, or maybe what people would say queer education. She has not had any white man's education. I don't want to say illiterate. That's a bad word. That's a strong word to use, because she can read the Quran and she knows enough to perform her salat, to perform her prayers. So she is educated, she is enlightened, but she doesn't have the white man's education. And we're very, very proud of her. This project is her brainchild. And we may be the family, as a unit, we have contributed and helped her, but this is all her idea. Because we may have given her the money to do this project, or giving her some of the money to do this project, but it's her idea. She could have done something else with it, but she decided to invest in her people. So we're extremely proud of you. My mother, she's extremely special. Like every Mandingo Muslim woman that grew up in the 50s in Liberia, in Bun County, she's more Pele than Mandingo, I'm telling you. That woman can speak Pele. She can outspeak a real Pele person. She was born in Bun County, and in the 50s, every Mandingo Muslim woman in the 50s in Bun County, there were only two things that a woman could do. You get married and have babies. So she followed the protocol and did just that. But when she had her children, fortunately, she had mainly girls like myself and my sisters. And she had mainly girls. But she had another plan for them. She wanted them to be educated. That's how I got my education. So we started in Liberia. Obviously, we were born in Liberia. And then as a refugee in Guinea, Conakry, I studied French, and then continued to Sierra Leone, completed my secondary education, and went to the Frobe College, University of Sierra Leone. Then I traveled to the United Kingdom, got my undergraduate degree, then went to master's. The rest is history. I'm not talking about me today. Today is about my mom, this very special lady who's made tremendous sacrifice. And it's because of her passion for her people, her love for her people, her love for humanity. That's why I took time off my very busy schedule. Actually, 2021 is my busiest year because I have a COVID mitigation project that I'm rolling out in this January. But I'm here in Simandou because I wanna make my mom happy. I want to see what she's invested in, what she's put her heart and soul into. I want to see it come to fruition. So I'm gonna be here to see this project until until it's completed. I'm very busy. I don't have a lot of time on my hands, but I'm going to do this because it's a worthy cause. And I want to say thank you, Mama. We love you. You are so special. I'm going to try not to be emotional. Whew. Okay. All right. Well, my mom's project is not the only good thing happening around here. The sons and daughters of Simandou in the diaspora, they have contributed and building a masjid here. Very noble project. Very, very noble project. I'm extremely proud of you, and may Allah reward everyone who's contributed for the construction of this masjid. But we must do more in other sectors, in other directions. We have a town here that's 90% youth, very small town. And it's the same with Simandou, with Moribadu, with Kamandou, with Jenedu, with, you name it, the Tarawadela, all the surroundings in Bela. They're very small areas. But Allah has endowed this region with so much, but our people still live in poverty. And today I'm here to talk to you about what's going on in our backyard. Baila is the main town serving Simandou. Baila and its surrounding towns. They're the main town serving Simandou iron ore project. Most of you may have heard about Simandou, a big project. The mine is operated by a British Australian mining company called Rio Tinto in partnership with the government of Guinea and the Aluminium Corporation of China. And also the IFC, the money people. Wherever there is big money, you'll find the IFC. So they are partnering with Rio Tinto to carry on this project. Simandou, right in the backyard. At the end of this podcast, I'm going to go outside and show you how close. I mean, the mountain is right here in this town. Okay? So Simandou has one of the largest iron ore reserves in Guinea and in the world, with an estimated reserve of 2.4 billion tons of the highest grade iron ore you can find in the industry. It's right here in Baila. These deposits are potentially the key to the prosperity of this country, this Guinea. The reserves in that mountain is right here in the background. Right here in our backyard. But the histories of the Simandou Mountain, the past and present, is all controversial. The controversy is all over the place. Why? You ask yourself why. It's because there is money involved. A lot of money running into the billions. Who benefits? The government agencies, they benefit. Who gets the raw end of the deal? The hard end of the deal. It's the masses, our people. Our people who live in the huts. Our people who don't have water. Our people with no electricity. Our people who just sit at the coffee shop and just look over at the mountain and dream and say, would I ever be part of that story? Our people. So the history of Simandou is tainted by corruption, controversy, mining rights disputes, and you name it, so on and so forth. It just goes on and on. Several billions United States dollars have already been invested in the project, with a projected job opportunity for 45,000 people when the project is fully functional. But how do our people benefit? How do our people benefit? Well, I'm an ardent believer in the old adage that if your Christmas will be good, you will know from the eve. These people have spent several billions in this region. Yeah, they've spent several billions, but they didn't build any school. Our youth are still highly unemployed. There's 80,000 people in this town. Where I'm based right now in Simandou, there's 80,000 people. And you won't believe how many of the young people in this town that is employed in the mountain. You can count them on your fingers. About 6 of them. Someone told me 6. I'm yet to confirm that, but someone told me just 6 people. Right. So if they've projected 45,000, to be honest, they can take 8,000 of everyone. I'm sure the 8,000 you have babies, they wouldn't take 8,000, but they can take half of that of the population. They can employ them in the mountain. But no, employment takes place in Conakry. So they bring the import workers and leave the population here. It's not only Simandou. You have Moribadou, you have Tarawadela. The story is the same. So you have a population that's 90% youth. And then no employment for them. They bring people from Conakry to work in the mines, and our youth, our people, the masses here, can only sit and admire the people. They will only sit and admire the people, and they're just here because they're here. That is wrong. And when they employ them, the few people that they employ, guess what they make them do? They employ them to be securities. They employ them to be paper boys. You know, the white man is very clever, extremely clever. So because it's part of their terms and conditions, they must advertise these positions. Although they never, the people in the village here, they're never going to aspire to these positions anyway. But they send them, these are the paper boys. They get their paper boys, and then the people in the village, they come, the boys that they employ them, among the 6 of them that they employed in the mountain, they come around the town and put posters up. They put posters up of jobs that they can't even read the job description. So you know then that the job is not for them. Okay, all right, good. Bring them. Albert, I'm not going to bring anybody on camera, at least not this time. Thank you, but no camera on anyone right now. But we'll do that as we go. We just started the conversation, so we're going to continue, right? So they put these job descriptions up, and then the boys go around and plaster them around the town. That is their job. But then the mountain is in their town. If you look at it, it's their birthright. But then they're paper boys, and they are securities as well. That's all they're good for. So the other people come from Conakry, they get training, and they come from Conakry and take the job right in our backyard. I will go outside and show you Simandou Mountain. I had to do it here because I'm on the building site so that there isn't so much interference. Right. So we must talk about the corporate social responsibility of Rio Tinto Group and its partners. What is corporate social responsibility? Put simply, it's when a company operates carefully in consideration of human rights, the community, the environment, and the society in which it operates. But I don't see any of it here. I've been here for 2 weeks, and I will stay here for even more, but I have not seen any of that here. So my plea here is the purpose, apart from the brilliant work that my mother is doing here that we could build on, I also want to talk about what we can do to make this better. We need to pay attention. This is our ancestral home. Most of us watching here, we are all Liberians. I mean, I'm a Liberian. My mother, my father, they were all born in Liberia. Fine. But this is our ancestral home. This is a big part of us as well. I'm not going to amputate this part of me. It's important. It's what makes me me. So we need to pay attention to Nizumwedu and its surrounding. We need to ensure that the investors live up to their corporate social responsibilities. We need to pay close attention to what's happening in our backyard. I mean, we've traveled. We've acquired some level of education. We know better. We must come together and lead the negotiation, and enforce these companies' hands, so that they can better our people. They can be fair to our people. Give them what's due to them. For the prosperity of our people, we must lead this negotiation. We must lead this. I mean, I can freely live and work in the two most powerful countries in the world, the United Kingdom and the US. I can live and work there freely. I don't need all of this. But there is humanity. This is our ancestral home. And apart from being our ancestral home, some of us we're still connected with our human side. We're still connected with our humanity. So we care. And my mother doesn't live here. She lives in England. My children are all in England. But we care. We care about this community. This is what we must do. I'm suggesting we must unite our people to come together and engage the investors as a unit. We don't want separate groups. We don't want this group going and that group going and people going in little patches. It does not create any impact. We need to get together as a unit. We must teach our people how the white man negotiates. We must teach them how not to sell themselves short for little change. It doesn't take your community anywhere. I mean, it will better you for the short time, but it doesn't take your community anywhere. It doesn't help your generation. So we must educate our people to see the bigger picture and think above, think beyond themselves. We must advocate for clean and safe drinking water for our people. We must advocate for electricity, good healthcare facilities. We must advocate for low-cost housing for our people so they can move out of these huts. And as we say in Madingo Tibo, our people need to move out of this. You won't believe it when you go in the mountains. It's like an oasis, in the desert. They've got beautiful homes there. Everything you can think about, and even more, they have in there. They have Land Cruiser coming out of their ears up the mountain. But then when they look over the mountain, the people who own the mountain, they live in huts. I mean, how is that fair? How is that ever fair? We must prevail on the investors to have road connectivity from Nisumwedu to Simandou mine, which is only 7 kilometers. Let me tell you this. Where I sit 7 kilometers from here to the Simandou mountain. But the road there has not been developed. How can the people in the mountain mining my iron ore and they don't even want to see me? Because if you cut the road, if you don't lay road for me to get to you, that means you don't want to see me. So the 7 kilometers road between Nisumwedu and Simandou is not laid. So nobody can get from Nisumwedu to Simandou. Guess what? The investors, the companies, and the government of Guinea, they built a road 47 kilometers, bypass the Nisumwedu, which is just 7 kilometers, and built a road 47 kilometers from the main town Bela to Simandou Mountain. Can you imagine? That doesn't make any good economic sense. When you have a 7 kilometers road, so you want to travel another 37, if my math is correct, another 37 kilometers, when you can only go 7 kilometers, we need to put a stop to that. We must help our people advocate for more primary school. My mother started already. My mother's school cannot accommodate all the children. School starts on Monday. I will do some live video and show you what's going on. It cannot accommodate all the children. We have a big piece of land, or my mother has a big piece of land, because this is all credit to this woman. Because we could have given her money and then she would take that money and do something else or build a house for herself. But she said no. We gave her money, but we didn't tell her what to do with it. She traveled from Liberia and came to her ancestral home. She could have done it in Bon County. She came to her ancestral home and put the money right here and said, I'm going to invest in the future of Nisumwedu. I'm going to invest in the future of Bela. I'm going to invest in the future of these people. So we have a big piece of land, or she has a big piece of land that can be developed further and include a play area. I mean, these are children. It's a primary school. So we can include play area because, children at that age, they can also learn through play. I'm here, so I will observe what's happening here and how the children are being taught because, I'm an educator as well, so I know. I know exactly what goes on. So we must help our people to advocate for vocational institute in Nisumwedu. It's 90% youth. And all they do is sit in the coffee shop, in the telephone booth, the telesans. They sit there all day and just dream and just talk and just waste away. They don't do anything. We must prevail on them and we must make them put up a Vortec Institute so that they can train these people, they can train the young people so they can work in these mines, so they can compete against these people that come from Conakry. If you don't train them, how do you expect them to be ready? They might come with the argument and say, but the people in Conakry are trained. How do people get knowledge? How do the people in Conakry are qualified? How do people get knowledge? You have to train them. And how do you train them? You build a Vortec Institute and train the people. And train them to do what you do there. So you don't have to go. You don't have to go so far. I mean, this conversation could be so short. If they just come down to the people and then look at the composition of the population, they would know that this is a haven. Bela is a haven for young people, haven for employment. They could employ nearly everybody here, and it wouldn't even shake their total of 45,000 jobs if they're really serious about that. Because when you employ people locally, the money stays within the community. And that is good for the prosperity of the community. It's good for the spirit of the people. We must hold their hands and guide them. This is what they expect. Yesterday, the owner of the land, they called him the owner of the land. He came and talked to me. I asked him because I've been talking to people and asking questions and everything. So I asked him, I said, how do you feel when you have the mountain here and all the good things happening there and nothing is happening for you in town? And he told me, well, we've sent our paperwork to Conakry, and then but there's no one to chase it. We don't have anyone to chase it. I mean, that broke my heart, and I felt ashamed. And then because he was reminding me of my duty, of my responsibility. This is my ancestral home. For someone to remind me, he doesn't know anything. He said, well, there was no one to push it. There's no one to lead us. He's asking for leadership, which we can provide. Most of us live overseas. We must not just send money and turn our backs. These people need us. I felt so ashamed when he reminded me of my responsibility. He said, we don't have anybody to lead us. So please, my people, we must all come together and do this. Let us engage the investors in the interest of our people. Let us invest in education. We can do that. We've started already. We can do that. We can invest in education, and we can invest in health and social services. Something my mother told me when she started this project. I said, well, Mama, why don't we do a fundraiser so that we can build this place? And she said, no, my child, we're not going to do that. I'm going to start the first phase, and then when people see that the land is big, the children are many, let them come and take off where I stopped. So it's easier for people to help you when they see what you're doing. We're going to finish this first phase. Trust me. People will know when I start something, I complete it. So we're gonna finish this. Also, the women here, my women. I love the women so much. The women are super talented and super hardworking. Every Mandingo Muslim woman in Guinea, in Liberia, everywhere, we raise our children. It's something in the water, I don't know, but we raise our children and we have the babies. But the women here are so hardworking, and the land is suitable for mechanized farming. We can get these people, we can get the investors to invest in machines that could make farming easier for our people, make farming easier for our women. We can set up women's cooperative, invest in the future of our young people. There is so much we can do here. We can do them ourselves. We can make the investors do them. It's right in our backyard. Together, I'm confident we can prevail. We will prevail. I'm going to walk outside for a minute. So the podcast has come to an end, but I'm going to walk outside and show you what's going on and show you Simandou. I'm not sure if I can turn the camera. I've never done a live podcast before. Sorry, my sisters always laugh at me. I'm not a big Facebook person, but yeah. I'm going to show you. I'm going to turn the camera and show you Simandou. Do you see? Can you tell me? That's Simandou right there. And I literally just came out of one of the classrooms, and that is Simandou Mountain. It's just across, but there is no road connectivity. They've blocked the road, and they didn't block the road. They didn't develop the road because there's no road there. And the road right in front of you, this is where my grandmother was, you know, they laid this road by themselves. The people in the town, they laid the road by themselves. And the pump you see there was constructed by my mother. And it's the only pump in this area. It's but then we have billions of dollars being invested in the mountain, but across here nothing is being done. This is the mosque. It's under construction, so we're gonna try to. We are gonna finish it. This is what I'm right here on the site that my mom is working on, and this is the staff quarters. They are just laying the zinc now, and we've had delivery of a lot of things, so that's gonna be done as well. And you have the principal's office there. You can see with the blue door, and this is the primary school. This is the primary school right here. As you can see, the land is massive. We can do so much. The mattress there is actually mine because I spend the whole day here. I want to make sure that it's done and it's done right. I mean, and anybody who's invested in, they've invested in building, in construction in Africa, they know that there's a lot of tears in it. So you have to be present sometimes. So thank you to everyone who tune in. I'm sure we'll continue this conversation later. And Assalamu alaikum. And thank you for watching. Thank you. Salam. Bye-bye. Bye, everybody. Bye. That's Simandou right there. Billions of dollars. Bye.